I want you to listen to this. It's relevant. I need you to follow me. I'm going to let it play for about a minute or so, and then we're going to talk about it right now, 2:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, December the 9th, 2014. I'm TstreeT Controversy with Real Combat Media. Please subscribe.
I'm glad it played out the way it did. Just life. You never know how bad a situation like that is until you're put in a situation like that yourself. Tough times don't last. Tough people do. A lot of people don't know what they're capable of until they're forced to be capable of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know you got courage until you're forced to be courageous. Nothing defines a man or a woman better than when everything's online. That's what this song is. How you know you can fight till you fought for something your whole life, till your dreams come true and everything you wanted is right there. Then out of nowhere your life turns to a nightmare. Habit you never had started growing you like hair. You're feeling jet lag like you traveled a light year. And all you
That's from
to the occasion.
No, that's from 2014. So that rapper right there, his name is Earl Haze. He's the son of Isaac Haze. You know, Isaac Haze died, I believe it was in the mid-2000s. You know, guy who did the Shaft theme. He was Chef on South Park. But this guy, Earl Haze, was involved in a murder-suicide today with his wife. I believe it's Stephanie Moseley. She worked on ESPN with Dean Cain. Dean Cain used to be Superman way back in the 90s. And the show was called Hit the Floor. I forgot. Long story short, I'm out of breath. This is TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe. So, the song is called Never Give Up. The song is from 2014. The song right now currently has 16,000 views, a little over 16,000 views on YouTube. Earl Haze is a member of the Money Team. And if I'm correct, on Floyd Mayweather's record label. So, now, please understand that I am not the type of person that I'm not going to come up here and start bashing Floyd Mayweather, talking about, oh, it's another excuse for him not to fight Pacquiao. It has nothing to do with this video. Because if it is true that Floyd Mayweather allegedly witnessed this on an app called Facetime. Facetime is an Apple iOS app that is like Skype. Let's just think of it as a Skype. So imagine this Earl Haze guy calling up Mayweather. He's all pissed off. We don't know if there was drugs or alcohol involved. I don't think he was on any like coke or anything like that, whatever. We don't know what his demeanor was when reportedly he contacted Floyd Mayweather via an app called FaceTime. So with that app, Floyd Mayweather can see him and can see everything going on in the background. And maybe in the background, you may hear this woman, the wife of Earl Haze, Stephanie Moseley. Now, this is all speculation. I'm just putting this together from the information that's been presented to us thus far. So we don't know what was going on. But we do know that Floyd Mayweather was somehow involved, and I'm not talking about directly, but may have witnessed what was going on via an app. You know, I'm trying to get you to understand that, you know, so he's watching it while everything's unfolding. And it's the reason why I'm putting emphasis on that. And Earl Haze kills his wife, then turns the gun on himself. He kills his wife, allegedly, reportedly, talking to Mayweather about her infidelity. Now, this is going to stray off the path of the video a little bit, and then I'm going to get back to the point I was making and start talking about Mayweather some more. I noticed something about like famous people. Many of them, majority of them, you could say are unhappy. Also, you know, no offense, you know, she's a backup dancer. Well, she was a backup dancer. And, you know, please understand, condolences to the family. I'm talking as a reporter, and I'm just looking on the outside of the situation. I don't know her as a person. I don't know him as a person. I'm just looking at the situation. He's a rapper. A rapper, let's be honest. He's not doing so well as a rapper. He hasn't been doing so well as a rapper because if I'm correct, his highest viewed song on YouTube is about 30, 40,000 views, something like that. Maybe 60 at the most. I don't know. Maybe it's one I didn't find. But even though I'm just hearing of him today, it's like, okay, all right. You got her. She's on VH1, a song called Hit the Floor. She's a dancer. She's danced with in videos with Chris Brown. Chris Brown put a picture of her with him on Instagram. Stuff like that. Now, please follow me. I'm not saying anything, and that's why, you know, like, I got to talk about the controversy of it because nobody else can talk about it. That's what I'm here for. Nobody else is going to talk about it. But I'm asking myself, what if she wasn't sleeping around? Did he kill her out of jealousy? But ask yourself, you know, who was bringing in the most money? Was he struggling and was he relying on Mayweather handouts? Because you have to open your mind and think to yourself, well, what if? Now remember, we don't know what happened. We don't know. But I'm saying, what if he called Mayweather up and he wanted Mayweather himself to see what he was doing? You know, basically like, listen, I need to call you first. And I'm saying this. I'm dancing around it a bit because I'm trying to be respectful of the family. And I don't mean to disrespect, but I'm trying to point out the situation the best that I can. You got Isaac Hayes. Okay. He was best known for the Shaft soundtrack, and he's had a lot of hit songs, and also being chef on South Park. How much money, net worth, did Isaac Hayes leave to his son? And was his son, Earl Hayes, relying on his rap career to take off financially? But then when it didn't take off, was he relying on a Floyd Mayweather or his woman? Now, I've been through it. I know that women, if they got to do something for you and help you in any type of way, not all, I'm just saying, every now and then you got a woman that'll say certain shit, you know, and I'm the type of guy, like if a woman says certain shit, you know, that I'm not comfortable with, I nip that shit right in the bud, period. I used to have to go through it in college. You know, in college, I used to be broke. You know, so, you know, my chicks used to help me out. So what I'm saying is, you know, like, even though they help you out, you got to nip that shit in the bud. Don't never let them say no smart. This is just me talking to a man. I mean, as a man, you know, women, you may not understand. But I'm not the type of girl. I mean, I'm not the type of dude that's going to allow, you know, I'm not going to allow certain disrespect. Because if you allow a woman to say something about, you know, like, yeah, you know, I always got to help you and stuff like that, then that relationship automatically is no good. Because it's like, you're helping because you want to as a team, not because of the fact that, you know, like, you shouldn't be upset at doing it and you shouldn't hold it over anyone's head. The reputation Floyd Mayweather has is he's the kingpin and he holds stuff over people's heads. So, for example, if he's paying your rent, you know, and you piss him off in any type of way, shape, or form, you know, he's been known to, you know, come at you in a very unprofessional manner. So what I'm saying is, we don't know what was going on in that relationship, but for it to get to this point, it's like, you should have just left. Should have just left. And I'm picturing myself thinking, okay, well, he's a rapper. What else is he doing? Okay, they're probably going to say he was some type of music producer or something. But if he can't produce himself, what is he producing? You know? So you have to think that she's bringing in money and maybe he's trying to fraud and live this life or show that he's living this life that he's really not. And, you know, finances could, you know, and maybe he wanted Floyd Mayweather to see this because maybe deep down before he did something like this, he knew in his head, Floyd is the only one that can help us. I don't like in his head, because it was a horrible, 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 horrible thing that he's done because it is he who took her life, then took his. But you have to look like in his head, he's trying to be this big, tough guy, you know, he's trying to fraud like everything. Yeah, man, fuck these bitches. We get money. Like, listen, people have issues. People have problems. And maybe he was reaching out to Floyd but the ignorance in Floyd that has been portrayed to us through Floyd Mayweather's media interactions, it makes us think that, what if he came to Floyd like, listen, Floyd, I really, really need some help, man. You know, I'm not doing right. I'm sad every day. I think my girl, you know, that shit will fuck with you. So already I'm seeing people are saying, you know, this is just another excuse for him not to fight Pacquiao. Honestly, my personal opinion is that, yes, it is a very good excuse, because if it is true, as I keep emphasizing, if it is true that he's seeing that on his phone, right there, that shit will fuck you up. That it will mess you up. Hold on, my bad. Let me turn this before this comes on. My bad. It was just autoplay. But it will mess you up. You're not gonna be able to sleep well if you're seeing I'm going to talk about maybe potentially graphic details. People taking their last breaths. You know, and I watch a lot of documentaries and like that death breath, like with people are just like, I don't even want to mimic the sound. It's just so horrible. If he's seeing that and he's seeing the blood and maybe, you know, people shaking and obviously they're not going to be holding the phone because, you know, if he's going to be down, but you get this, it's outrageous. It's outrageous. So it is said that he was at a Clippers game. Yes, he was at the Clippers versus the Suns. Blake Griffin won that game by a 3-pointer at the buzzer. Remember, this was on December the 8th, 2014. Right now it's December the 9th, 2014. Allegedly, this all happened Monday morning, December the 8th. Floyd Mayweather was at a basketball game that night. I say this. People say, well, it must not affect him that bad. When you go through a type of trauma like that, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. So, you know, let's just get that right out there. When you deal with, like, when you see some shit like that, you know, you keep it replays over and over and over in your head to the point where Floyd Mayweather, he's gifted to have all those people just around him at all times. Because if it's any time he needed them around, it is now, because you do nothing but think about shit like that. If you see something that traumatic, you're going to just think about it. It's going to start eating away at your mind. So it's not about, it can be, that could have happened to a complete stranger, a person you never knew before in your life. But it will eat away at you. Like, why did they do this? What could I have done to help? Maybe if I had drove over there, I don't know. Like, what could I have done for this not to have happened? So a lot of times people think I just hate Mayweather, you know, as a person. I've made that clear. I don't hate the man as a person. You know, outside of the ring, you know, I can't stand him. I don't say anything that's not true about Floyd Mayweather. But at this point in time, people want me to say, no, that's some real, it's not an excuse. That's some real shit that's going on. And I'm trying to picture how would I be? And I've seen death. I got a piece of a bullet right here. Nah, man. So I look at it like this. That is something that warrants taking a year off. I know this is going to sound crazy coming out of my mouth, but that's something that you have to seek some help for, because how would that affect training? You know, how would that affect, you know, like if he's seeing, you know, and of course he's got to go to the funeral. Then people are always going to ask questions about it. That's not something that you just get over. You know, and I hate to use this example, like the women who had to go through the horrible trauma of being raped. That's just not something, or anybody, male or female, that had to go. That's just not something, you know, on molestation. You just don't forget that. Them people, when you see them in interviews and they talk about them seeing dusky people, they don't forget that shit. So witnessing a murder and you were the last person to talk to that person and maybe could have intervened and changed the future of the situation, the horrible situation that has happened with the murder-suicide, then you have to think, as a person, how is that not going to weigh on your mind? It's not about what you've been through in your life. Oh, I've seen a whole lot worse. I lived down in Mexico and I saw a man get chopped up and put in the pot and cooked. You know, they get down crazy down there. It's crazy down there. You know, like I seen somebody decapitated. Everybody does not work the same. Floyd Mayweather, now people are going to not like this statement, but I want to say from what I've seen in as far as the media and studying Floyd Mayweather throughout the years is that he's a weak-minded person. He comes off and portrays himself as a weak-minded person in the media. Now, it's that statement is going to be countered by, well, he's a smart businessman. How many weak-minded people that can make 32 guaranteed million in one night? Okay, I understand that. I'm just saying, he doesn't handle situations very well as far as when his emotions is involved. That's a good thing and a bad thing because Floyd Mayweather don't buffer nothing. You know, his whole situation with what's going on within his promotional company. There's a lot of stuff going on. And also you have to think, this is a situation that could change a man's life for the better. You know, and I'm not, once again, condolences to the family. I'm not saying this is a good thing or anything. I'm saying that maybe his thought process of saying something like that, like, damn, that could have been me. Oh, let me read what 50 Cent put out. I was getting ready to forget about this. Let me find 50 Cent Instagram. He put out something. Now, I got crazy hours. I did like 6 videos earlier today. Well, yesterday. You know, took a nap, did a bunch of running around. But yeah, let me read this. Oh, by the way, please subscribe. I cover every single major fight live. Did he take it down? Oh, there we go. All right, this is from 50 Cent 11 hours ago. R.I.P. Haze at Floyd Mayweather. You are my little brother. All can think about is what you said to me upstairs. Let's just stop that part right there. All I can think about is, now let's just read the first sentence. R.I.P. Haze at Floyd Mayweather. You are my little brother. All can think about, he missed the I. All I can think about is what you said to me upstairs. Now, what does that make me think? It's like maybe Floyd Mayweather was in one of those moods that night, or one night where 50 Cent is referring to, and Floyd was saying some more weak-minded shit. You know, I'm not. Once again, this is not a video to attack Floyd. I'm just trying to get you to understand. And you don't know Floyd Mayweather as well as you think you do if you're not understanding the logic I'm using. So what if he's saying, like, you know, I don't have any real friends. 50, I just met you 10 years ago and you my best friend. Right now, you know, you hear guys like Robert Garcia talking about the payroll. Everybody around Floyd Mayweather is paid to be there. I ask myself, how many of these people has he known for 20 plus years? Does he have any childhood friends? Let me read the rest of it. Don't you ever do nothing to yourself no matter what, champ. We can fall out and fight or whatever, but I don't want to see you go out like that. Hashtag SMN Audio Power Frigo. Whatever that means. So, what is 50 Cent insinuating? That Floyd Mayweather has hinted at suicide before, and that maybe he feels that Floyd Mayweather as a person could possibly do that to himself one day. 50 Cent has an up and down relationship with Floyd Mayweather. 50 Cent could be looking at it like, well, fuck that motherfucker Haze. This is my chance to get at Floyd. But then again, it's hard for me to think with 50 Cent and the business connections and, you know, what he's doing, despite the fact that he's making all those B movies and has all those small roles, he is making a lot of money. So it's hard for me to believe that he would just say something like that and not genuinely feel it, or then that would make him a genuinely evil person to go that far in a situation like this. So I have to take that as being credible, and that's just my personal opinion. Of course, people are going to say, well, Floyd Mayweather, 50 Cent just want to take some of Floyd Mayweather's shine because, you know, the Pacquiao negotiations and all that. This video was not about that at all. So I can be, okay, fans, 24 hours ago, before all of this happened, fans were talking about how Floyd has been relatively quiet since all this Pacquiao negotiation stuff has been going on. Like, really, really quiet. Expect him to be even quieter. In fact, if negotiations for Pacquiao was an issue before, expect them to be harder now, because how can you negotiate, you know, like that, in that state? So for the people saying, you know, he was at a Clippers game and all that, like, you don't want to sit around and just like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. You want to go do something. Your friends and your family are telling you, get out the house, go do something. Him being at the Clippers game don't mean nothing. I am TstreeT Controversy with www.realcombatmedia.com. Please subscribe. Uncut boxing news, the #1 source. Why? Because I'm going to keep it plain and simple. I talk about the real shit. We address the real shit. TstreeT Controversy, TstreeT Controversy Live.